Thank you for the opportunity to present our business plan. Wishful, we are from ISB called Team Uncle William. Wishful is a mall-based shopping wish list. It's basically a service which allows people to connect. So let me begin with a confession under extreme pressure from my teammates. It's my birthday tomorrow, and this presents the best opportunity to give a real-life scenario of where this can work. So these girls wanted to go buy me a gift today, and they clearly don't know what to buy. Let's assume all three of us are active subscribers of this service. So they can go on to the Wishful application on their mobile phone, select give a gift, search for me search for me and access my itemized wish list, which is at ABC Mall, as you can see. How did this come about though? So let's say I went to the mall a week earlier. I wanted to purchase some items. I saw this Adidas shoes. This was my wish list at that point in time. I saw these pair of Adidas shoes which I couldn't afford, but I really liked. So I scanned this using the inbuilt barcode reader in our application and added it to my wish list. So today Ramya and Sukriti can see that on their phone. And given that they don't want to buy me something worth 46,000 rupees, they know that I already have an India jersey. They went to the Adidas store and bought this gift for me. So if Wishful was there, I'd be a lucky owner of an Adidas pair of shoes tomorrow. But I'm not. So what is the problem? What exactly do we give someone? We do not, our social footprint has increased, but and the gifting opportunities, but we do not know what to give someone. Why does this happen? Because we don't have the time in this fast-paced world to look for the elusive perfect gift. And when we spend money, we want value for our money. The source of confusion, of course, is we do not know what people like, want, or prefer. The current existing solutions in the Indian retail industry range from the ultimate surprise. You buy something that you think a person will like and hope he or she does. Power of choice in terms of gift cards, wherein it does give flexibility to a gift receiver, but it's a very impersonal gift and almost akin to giving money. Something like a return and exchange, again, some kind of flexibility, but a logistical hassle for both gift giver and gift receiver in terms of maintaining the receipt and passing on the receipt, etc. Power of convenience, online retail, but it hasn't caught on as much as we would like it to, because Indian retail is still rooted in the concept of experiencing a product and touching it, feeling it, trying it before they want to purchase it or like it. And of course, chocolates have always been the safe gift, but aren't they also the last resort gift? When you don't know what to buy, then you go buy a chocolate. That means there is a piece of the jigsaw puzzle that is clearly missing. What a person wants, what your gift receiver wants. And that is a solution that Wishful seeks to provide through a mall-based shopping wish list. It's a platform to share offline shopping preferences, and it will bridge the gap between a deep unspoken desire of a person and its fulfillment. How it does that is by simplifying and accelerating the gift buying process by giving the gift giver the power of gifting knowledge and understanding what the gift receiver wants, and thus he can make an informed gifting choice. Given the agnostic nature of gifting today, Wishful will also provide executable ideas for every gifting occasion. And in due course of time, Wishful can also act as a word of mouth and recommendation tool and a social influencer tool. Thus, overall, Wishful gives a greater gifting impact than the current industry solutions. So what do our stakeholders get? As a gift recipient, you get the gifts you want. No more duplication, no more getting the same set of crockery, 5 pieces, say 5 sets of same crockery for your wedding. As a gift giver, gifting once again becomes a pleasurable experience from the transactional and hassle experience that it has become today. It saves a lot of time and increases appreciation because now you know what a person wants, so you can go and buy that immediately. And it also you are appreciated because the person values that gift. And informed gifting helps you buy something within your budget from a given consideration set. For our retail partners, Wishful will increase footfalls and reduce lost sales. This is because a person goes to a shop, likes 10 items, but picks only 2. So the 8 can be attributed to lost sales in the long run. Because Wishful will drive secondary sales, they will lead to increased footfalls and reduce lost sales. Also quicker turnaround times, because once you know what you want to buy, you don't go and ask the salesperson what the ideal gift would be for your girlfriend or your boyfriend. You can directly go and show him, I want to buy this. It will act as a publicity and social media buzz because of our integration with the social media platform. And it also gives insights into consumer preferences due to the data services that we will provide. So we know what Wishful is, but why now? The Indian consumer is on the move. The middle class is growing. expanding and expect to reach around 45% in 2025. Disposable income is expected to triple within this time. The Indian retail industry is also mimicking the Indian growth story and expected to reach about 1 trillion, 1.3 trillion by 2020. Organized retail, which is only 7% today, is growing at an even faster rate at a CAGR of about 22%. And with the advent of FDI, this growth curve is only set to become more steeper. This is closely linked to the mall development in India, which is seeing almost 30 to 40% growth year on year. And almost 75% of consumers who go to malls spend 1 to 3 hours per visit in malls. A consumer online survey that we ran with over 173 participants also validates our business model, wherein 89% say they suffered from gifting confusion, and 97% would find a wish list very useful in selecting gifts. 83% also would prefer shopping in malls rather than standalone stores and nearby stores, therefore validating the mall growth story with relation to organized retail story. In terms of willingness to buy at a specific mall, 82% say that they would buy at a specific mall if they know that a wish list exists over there rather than other malls, and 70% are willing to create a wish list to help others buy for them. In terms of occasions for gifting, weddings and engagements, almost 95% of gifts are bought for weddings and engagement, about 90% for birthdays and anniversaries, and 60% each for housewarming and farewells. Thus, gifting is now event agnostic and across the year and provides a huge scope for our product. So to do some customer segmentation, we did demographic, geographic, and behavioral patterns. In terms of demographic, we took age and income level of consumer. To understand the geographic, we actually took the distribution of key organized retailers rather than the consumer, which gave us a reflection of the value per consumer where they are available. In terms of behavioral and buying habits, we went to the average consumer can be divided into 3 categories, subcategories: functional, recreational, or browsers. Functional shoppers are people who know what they want, go and buy that exactly. Browsers, people who don't go with the intention of buying, just spending time in a mall. And recreational shoppers are basically an amalgamation of the other two. So our target set is people aged 15 to 35 with an income level of 2 lakhs and more, people who are comfortable with the use of a smartphone, have enough gifting opportunities, metros and tier 1, which accounts for almost 50% of the organized retail space currently. And in terms of buying habits, we would service across the board. Some marketing mix, so our placement immediate is we would go for a phased growth targeting major malls in metros and tier 1 cities. However, with FDI and retail, we will keep an eye on the Indian retail landscape and can move beyond malls if the need arises. In terms of pricing, so ours is a platform with 2 sides, the consumer and the retailers. We will look to monetize the retailers based on the additional value that we are providing to them in terms of increased sales and also better customer insight, customer preference insights. So this is, we'll have 2 products basically, subscription income, which would be a monthly subscription income, can be the fixed or revenue share model as is prevalent today, or data services that we will launch from 3rd year, can be either raw data or customized data sets. In terms of promotion, we will go for through the line and promotion within malls and social media. Almost 50% of our estimated expense would be for out of house, and other 50% would be social media, radio, and print. Some examples of through the line on the ground would be use of mall wraps and storefronts, use of local transport and transport hubs to drive marketing activities, and mall prints, ads, and flyers. Some marketing communication flyers that we have developed. We met the kid up front who is the ultimate expert on what he wants, so let's listen to him for a change. Let's bring the art back into gifting. Let's remove the signs and let Mr. Armstrong rest in peace for a change now. What women want has been the greatest dilemma men face. Once you know what women want, there'll be less breakups and more harmony in relationships. So that's what the other 2 ads suggest. We go for a 360-degree customer engagement program, on-ground activities, social media, radio, and print. On-ground activities basically would be process walkthroughs, taking a sample set of people, running through the entire process to help them understand, and lucky draw events at our kiosks. Social media would be social media and radio. We'll run contests and events targeting radio, Facebook, Twitter, stuff like guess the gift, wish for the star, tag the gift contest to generate interest and engage the customer. In terms of print, we would target niche magazines like Elle, Vogue, GQ to again target a niche set of customers in terms of interactive marketing campaigns. So our operational model, we call it a 3-step model: register, beep, and buy. First step, of course, is register, which you can do either at a physical kiosk, which would be present in each mall, or through Facebook. Following which you will download the mobile application on your the visual application on your mobile phone, which is the heart of our platform. Once this is done, as a gift receiver, the job is to go to the different retail stores which are in our partner portfolio in the given mall and add items to your wish list by scanning them using the inbuilt barcode reader. This is the beep stage. An aggregated update of your daily scannings would go on the Facebook application to again generate and pique interest with your family and friends. As a gift giver, on the other hand, initially you can access an abbreviated wish list of a gift receiver, which would be just the name of the mall and the price range, which helps you make a decision on which mall you want to go to make a purchase. Once there, you can access the itemized wish list using an OTP, which will only be available at our kiosk. This has primarily been done to link the sales of a particular item to the mall or the retail outlet where it has been scanned to incentivize and take care of our retail partners. Once you have access to the itemized wish list, you can make your purchase decision based on the consideration set that is available to you. So our revenue model, we have three sources of revenue that we have identified. The primary source is subscription from our retailers. This can either be fixed monthly subscription or a revenue share model. Second would be data services, which as I said, we would be providing from third year onwards. This would be aggregated customer preference data, first-hand preference data, based on what customers are actually beeping in stores. And this data can be either in raw form, or we can provide analytics services on this. Tertiary source of revenue that we can leverage is advertising, which can either be direct in the form of our mobile platform or the physical kiosk, or indirect in the form of the social media updation that we would be doing at the aggregated level on a periodic basis. So our growth strategy is loosely called 5 per city, 50 per mall. Year one, we would run the pilot program in Delhi for 3 months, and then a commercial launch for a year. Year two, we would target the financial capital of India, Mumbai. Year 1 and 2 would form the breaking in part of our growth strategy, which would primarily be to gain customer interest and build a critical mass. In year 3, we would leverage on the presence in Mumbai to gain a foothold in Ahmedabad and Pune, establishing West India as what we call it. Year 4, we would target the IT population or the IT migration people in Hyderabad and Bangalore. And so year 3 and 4 then form the ramping up stage of our growth strategy, wherein we expand, where the number of cities we target in a given year increases exponentially as compared to year 1 and 2. Year 5 is when we go pan-India, which is basically Chennai, Kolkata, and Chandigarh. So we get a pan-India presence and includes all tier 1 and metro cities as they stand today. Some financial projections, as I mentioned, revenue from subscriptions has been taken as 1% of the additional sales that we are generating for our retail partners. An industry average of 10 lakh footfall per month for some of the largest malls, top 18-20 malls have been taken as the base data. And at a 3% penetration rate for our subscriptions and a 1% buying people, 33% within those making a purchase within a month has been taken with an average ticket size of 500 to arrive at a 1 lakh figure, average 1 lakh figure that we would additional revenue that we would generate for our retail partners per month on average. And taking 1%, we've taken a 1,000 rupee per month that we would take from a retailer, which would amount to 50,000 rupees per mall that we would get. So after year 3 onwards, as I mentioned, we would launch the data services. For this, we have taken a 20,000 wishful signups per month, additional signups per month, and at a very conservative number of only 5 items being added per person in a year, and charging 25 paisa per line item in the form of raw data. We have arrived at this number. Our total capex that we see initially is 23 lakhs, which includes about 3 lakhs for includes about 3 lakhs for development of the underlying technology, which includes the web application, the mobile application, database. About 7 lakhs for the marketing activities that we would carry on first year. About 1.5 lakh per kiosk that we set up, including the physical infrastructure and the technology that we would need to have there. And the balance would be in terms of HR and administrative costs that would be incurred. Out of these 23 lakhs, we would infuse 15 lakhs as equity and leverage 8 lakhs as debt. As is visible, we will break even, or our payout period would be around somewhere around between year 2 and 3. This is primarily due to the fact that the data services that we are launching increases our top line considerably, while the costs are not escalating that high because we've accounted for some costs, and only a cost of about 1 to 2 lakhs would be required in year 3 to boost our database and run some analytics on the raw data. So there are three main risks that we have envisaged. The first one is the customer buy-in. With so many services in different domains coming up, there's a credibility of new service that has to be established. And also, it might be slightly culturally out of place in India to be asking for gifts. The simple mitigation strategies that I've already discussed is innovative marketing campaigns that we would run on social media, radio, and print, and also customer engagement programs, again, through the use of social media and on-ground customer engagement programs. At the retailer level, the standard problem would be chicken or egg story: get enough critical mass of the retailer, of the consumers before retailers will join, and vice versa. And of course, action inertia on the part of the staff at each retailer to allow customers to scan items onto their wish list. Some mitigation strategies would be, we will be running a 3-month pilot program wherein we will not charge a subscription fee to our retailers, which would be just to assure them of the viability of our model while we look to generate interest and build a customer base in those first 3 months. And to alleviate the problem of action inertia, we'll be running training programs for the defaulter stores based on the customer feedback that we receive. We understand that there can be a spurt of competition in this in the form of copycat services, which would lead to price wars. However, we also realize that first mover advantage is a big play in this game, and thus establishing early relationship would be critical. So in the end, this is the organization structure and the team. The co-founders of Wishful are, I'll just leave the slide here. The co-founders of Wishful are Ramya Rajan and Sukriti, who would be handling marketing and business development / client acquisition respectively, while I'll be looking after the administration services.
Thanks for the presentation. A fair bit of work has gone into it. But the way I see it is you've taken a typical shameless American / European habit, shameless but practical one, and tried to build a business model out of it. I have a problem with this, and the problem is I think you've thought it out well. I see this to be essentially an application. Mm-hmm. You have made it into a cusp of the online-offline model. And you have said that you're going to implement it at malls with kiosks, etc. The basic problem is replicability of the idea. This is an idea, and this is essentially an application. And today we develop millions of applications. This looks like an idea which you can take to a telco and sell it to the telco, or go to Google, and if Google does it, it will work much better. Because this is an idea which is very scale-centric. It is not an idea which can run basis a slow growth module. So the way I see it is, you can't run it on your own. So fight me out on that. You cannot run it on your own unless you take it to a telco or Google.
So, the way we see it, just developing the mobile application or an online application would not be enough, because there are a couple of gift registries running in the Indian retail scenario currently, but those are not successful, because majority of the sale and purchase or the transactions are still done on the ground level. I do not really see Google entering into the infrastructure that would be required at the ground level, even though they can develop the application perhaps much better than we can and in a much faster time. However, they will not like to enter at the ground level and each mall level. Secondly,
okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, Google can do whatever it wants. Fundamentally, because Google Sense, you take a look at the Google Sense kind of a feel. Right? I mean, Google can invite mall owners, retail owners to actually register, and then actually create formats for themselves online and offline. So I don't think that answer is substantial.
Okay.
I want you to fight on the idea to say that you can run it on your own. I'm saying no, it's only an idea. Mm-hmm. It's an idea which you might want to sell it to one of these two guys.
The competitive advantage that we are seeing is primarily first mover advantage. So if we go to a major retail brand and we tie up with them, The idea is it would be either a city level or a pan-India level tie-up rather than a store level tie-up. We do not have stores. It would not be a store level tie-up. So that is where somebody coming in second would have a barrier to entry to again get that kind of tie-ups, A. And again, at the mall level also, because if you are, let's say, going and, I'm just giving a hypothetical example, going and tying up with DLF, so if you essentially tie up with all the malls of DLF, you get a nod in or a principal approval or entry to all the malls in DLF whenever you want to scale in.
Okay, I like the way that you have done the idea in terms of taking a particular thought and taking it forward, but I think there's too much of labor involved in this.
Okay.
And it's going to be too slow. So slow that someone else will come and grab it and run with it. So I'd rather take your idea and sell it to one of the guys. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Your output, the output at the end of beep, the segment of beep, where does that information get loaded?
In the, you're talking about this step. Once somebody beeps it.
Can't see it. Yeah, but once
somebody adds it to his wish list. So we would have an underlying database where it gets loaded, where we do a one-on-one correlation with the barcode that a person is scanning.
All that's fine. If I want to buy a gift for you, where do I get your wish list? Where do I find it? If you want to
buy a gift, so there is a common database, the underlying database that is there, which is linked via our mobile application, which is the common platform that connects the gift giver and the gift receiver. Both access the same thing. The way you access somebody's wish list can be run on 2-3 models. One could be directly importing all the friends.
Okay, fine. Now, slightly linked to what Harish was asking, but I'm Facebook. I just decide to have an icon on my on Facebook, which basically says add your wish list.
Right.
So I can have my wish list on my Facebook page, and anybody can access it. Does that not kill your idea?
Is it okay if I speak? So the basic concept is that you're on Facebook and Harsh is your friend on Facebook. So on Facebook, you can see that Harsh has gone and created a wish list on, say, 3 malls, in Orbit, Palladium, and Atria. So when you're in Palladium on Friday and you know his birthday, or today...
Hold on, let me stop you there. I mean, why link the mall at all?
The idea is that...
It's a product I'm buying. Right. My wish list, it doesn't matter whether it comes from Orion or in Orbit or anywhere else.
So the whole point behind linking it to the mall was to create tangible benefit for the retail stores in the mall. Once we put it online...
okay, appreciated. I get a feeling that you're force-fitting a virtual idea into physical space. You're force-fitting it because it's retail. Because, you have to take it to a mall. Actually, you don't take it to a mall, it can run beautifully. Because, you save 30% in terms of cost. E-commerce is hopping. And I think, any guy who's going to be linked onto this is going to be E-enabled. Culturally, it's a great fit for a guy who's E-enabled. So that's my problem. I see a force fit onto physical retail. If you said this was a pure virtual idea and it's an e-com idea and you are going to take it to Google, why Google? You're going to take it to someone else. Then I would be happy. Otherwise, it's too wishful.
The thing is, sir, while we agree with you and it's a great idea, there are existing registries online which are currently not very successful. That's also because a lot of people in India have this cultural belief of touching products while they buy them, especially things like clothes, jewelry, smelling perfumes. These experiences, we believe right now, can't be replicated online.
Okay.
And
thank you.
Just a short question on the name itself, Wishful. It sounds first negative to me. I mean, you want to defend your name, you had some plan B on name, because brand name, you'll stand for that brand name, right? So how do you see the brand name, and did you have other options that you evaluated to come to Wishful?
I'd like to answer that. We were actually just sitting at a table and we were just wondering how we should satisfy some of our wishes that we have deep within ourselves. And so what we just came up with was how something like an application like this would actually fulfill our wishes. And so we kind of brought those two ideas together and we decided to call it Wishful, which would ideally be fulfilling your deep wishes, and which is why we came up with this name.